Pleased to meet you. This is Fixed and Folded, the knife review channel for the casual knife collector. I'm Cody. This is my cat assistant Tommy, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Cold Steel Double Safe Hunter budget knife. And I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a good budget knife. So this is a full-size knife. Overall length is just under 8.5 inches. You have a 3.5 inch blade with a sharpened area of 3.5 inches. Total blade length of just over 3.5 inches. You have a handle length in your main hand position here of 4 inches, and then you have this designed area to choke up here, which is going to be 4.5 inches from here to the end of the finger area of the handle. And so even double extra large hands are going to fit on the handle with gloves, no problem. If you use the choke up point, or I use extra large gloves. Extra large gloves are going to fit on the main hand area here. You have a relatively thick handle with a nice cutout here to sort of blend the height of the pocket clip in with the other side of the handle so that it's less protruding when you grip it than if it was just a full width handle on the clip side. This would be more noticeable in the hand, but the way Cold Steel has designed this with this cutout on the one side makes this pocket clip really comfortable when you grip the handle. You can do reverse grip, saber grip, hammer grip, choke up grip, pinch grip, no problem. Draw cutting, there's no jimping on the blade or on the top of the handle to provide traction for draw cutting, but the handle itself is, I would say, coarse texture of these little triangles. Trust me, there's little, the stippling is triangle shaped, and it provides good coarse hand traction. I suppose overextended pulling out and putting into your pocket, the aggressive texturing on the handle could wear down your jeans. But in the hand, it's not so coarse as to be uncomfortable. So I like that. And because you have actually no jimping anywhere on the knife, the secure feeling in the hand benefits greatly from having this aggressive texturing. Now you've got that same texturing on the top of the pocket clip side, but it's quite a fine texture in the cutout area, and where you get your traction if you're going to be carrying it left-handed is just the contours where your fingers rest of the pocket clip. That provides a good locked in feeling. When you combine that with the finger cutout here, it has a nice secure feel to it. So this, in terms of ergonomics, is a very comfortable pocket clip design with this bill that straightens out. It does function well as a pocket clip. The limiting factor on the design here for Cold Steel is this is not ambidextrous. You can see this is a directional pocket clip. If you were to flip it over here, these would not line up. So Cold Steel did not include a second pocket clip for left-handed people, but you can still use this as a lefty, and if you do want to put it in your left pocket, you can still use this. It's just that the blade is going to be facing towards your sensitive bits instead of away, but the double safe Hunter is going to ultimately prove safe in the pocket because Cold Steel's included this safety lock, which is easy to use, and as they say, double safe. It locks it in the closed position and also in the open position, which is awesome. I love that. If you're gonna have a safety lock, lock it in both positions. That's awesome. So with the Triad lock that Cold Steel has, very secure, but if you want that extra security when open, this is a metal, what is this? It's a metal piece, just a piece of metal that slides forward and prevents the Triad lock from engaging or disengaging. There is no up and down play. There is a little bit of side to side play. If I hold back here, there's just a little bit of handle flex. It feels like G10, but it's not. It's glass reinforced nylon, so it's your fancy kind of a polymer entry-level price material. There is a little bit of flex. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. See, it's quite firm, but if I just reef on it, you can get it to flex here with both fingers if I'm going right near the edge, but ultimately, to use one-handed, the flex is nice and acceptable. It is, I believe, milled out a little bit on the inside to reduce weight. Actually, it might not be. Let me get my flashlight of truth out and see if there's milling in the frame or not. So let's see here. Okay, yeah, there's just a little bit of slots milled out inside. It's like a minor weight reduction milling. Still looks like, looking at it, that it's going to keep a lot of the rigidity of the handle. The weight of the knife is 4 ounces, which is right in between medium and heavy for me. If it's under 3 ounces, it's light. If it's 3 to 4 ounces, it's medium. And if it's 4 to 5 ounces, it's heavy. I think I got that scale right. So it definitely does not feel heavy. And yeah, it feels right on the cusp of medium. I'd say comfortably medium of a weight. So you will feel this in your pocket just because of the dimensions. The size of it is a full-size knife. I consider a full-size knife to be around 8.5 inches. Anything over 8 inches total length is like a full-size knife that someone with extra large hands can fully grip on the handle. Then if you have over a 3-inch blade, fits it into full-size knife category. So this is just under 8.5 inches total length, 3.5-inch cutting edge, 4 inches for the grip, for main grip. I have extra large gloves hands, so I can get full purchase on here. Consider this a full-size knife. This is the same kind of size category as your Spyderco Paramilitary 2 or your Benchmade Freak. Ontario Knives Rat 1. Fit and finish. It's good for the price. This was $45 Canadian. I think I got a pretty good price on this. Where did I buy this from? I bought this from House of Knives at Market Mall in Calgary. This is about $55 elsewhere. This is on Blades Canada, $55. So for that price, you get the triad lock, double safe lock, which I like. And you get, this is 8CR14 MOV, so essentially 8CR13 MOV, which is a budget steel known for decent stainlessness, good toughness, and edge retention that is going to be about twice that of a Victorinox Swiss Army knife, but nothing to write home about for edge retention. But the benefit of this blade steel is that it's affordable. And it's gonna, for EDC use, for casual EDC use, in my use over the years, 8CR13 MOV is perfectly fine. If you're gonna use this as a work knife to cut boxes a lot, make sure after every shift you either strop this with some stropping compound on a leather strop, or use a ceramic rod and touch it up, because this will not last that long with its sharp edge. After a couple of days cutting boxes at work, this will get dull. From the factory, the cutting edge is nice and sharp. Cold Steel has always had sharp cutting edges out of the box for me. The cutting edge looks even to my eyes, but the bevel of the edge, looking at it edge on, is uneven, which even with Cold Steel more expensive knives is pretty common with their factory sharpness. So an even bevel will look like this, and my knife from the box is more like this. For cutting, it's not an issue at all. For piercing, it has not been an issue at all. For using like a V sharpener or something, if you're going to line it up and sharpen that way, I guess if you want it to be an even bevel from the factory so you can touch it up evenly. If it's this way, well, it's going to be taking off more material on one side and no material on the other side. You're kind of reprofiling it that way, so it's not ideal. Knife people say don't use a V sharpener anyway. I have my V sharpener and I use it, so not going to really be a problem. Yeah, slicing, piercing out of the box, this has been very good. So this is the clip point model of the Double Safe Hunter. It also comes in a drop point. And yeah, for utility, I really enjoy this clip point. Performance is going to be very similar with the drop point. You just get a little bit more efficiency with piercing with the clip point, because you just have less material of the blade to go through objects. And then the trade-off is you're going to be, for however much more efficiency you have piercing, you're going to get a little bit less durability of the tip, because if you have a thinner tip, it's going to be more fragile, but also more efficient for piercing. The design of the edge of the blade, it's a saber grind with a false edge on the top. You can see there's a generous amount of unsharpened, fat, stocky back of the spine of the blade there. That's really good for resting your finger here, or if you're doing something fancy, you're going to be using this for sawing through something. Got lots of area to put your thumb on here. I don't know what people would use this for with both fingers, but you can, in the choke up position, put your finger here and get more control with your draw cuts. The logos, the Double Safe logo is in line with the spine of the blade, and then the Hunter logo is in line with the bottom edge here where the edge starts. The grind starts at the blade there, so they're not in line with each other, but they are in line with the angles on the blade there, and it doesn't bother my OCD-ness too much. On the other side, you've got your just modern Cold Steel logo, and then it says 8CR14 MOV and made in China. Body screws. This looks to me like you have T6 body screws with a T8 pivot adjust. On the pocket clip side, you've got T6 pocket clip hardware, T6 body screw, and just a flat area there. You have Cold Steel's adjustable thumb studs. It came off axis like this from the box, which Cold Steels usually do, with a preference for right-handed people, as that's 90% of the population. 90% of the buyer market is right-handeds, but you do have flathead screw cut in there. So if you want to adjust this to even it up or flip it over, make it left-hand dominant, you certainly can. I'm going to, the ease of use for right-handed is from the box is very good. I can let this do a guillotine drop here on my finger, and you can see the unsharpened port of the blade lands on my finger, providing that I am at least in the center of this area or forward. If I put this back, like most Cold Steels, this will cut me, so that's a dangerous, unsafe method of releasing the knife here. The safe way is to push down the spine here of the triad lock and use two hands, and you're never going to cut yourself. It's nice and smooth. This is uses 2 nylon washers. Nice and smooth action, and it just free drops, and then I can shake it shut if I want to use one hand to be fancy with it, and I can thumb flick it from the bottom, use the nail there, I can thumb flick it open for rapid tactical deployment if I need to be stabbing zombies. Feel in hand is very good because of the width of the handle, the combination of that with the aggressive texture on here, and the design to have these chamfered, which is like rounded. It's another word for like rounded cutout areas for the finger. Very comfortable, very comfortable, very neutral and comfortable. Comfortable choke-up point, well-designed handle for function. So, fit and finish. Pretty good for the price, but it's not high-endy. Like even like a Cold Steel Recon one's gonna have better fit and finish than this, which is, those are 190, 180 to 200 Canadian for the standard Recon 1 models. What I mean here is this is a bit sloppy where the triad lock meets the blade stock. It's just not a perfect, tight fit. This is a bit rounded down here. But as I said before, no up and down play. So it's ultimately going to be solid. Where the durability, the sense of durability falls down is in twisting. When I put my hand back here and then take the blade and I do some twisting, there is flex. There is some flex in the handle. And so I'm not going to be twisting the knife in wood way back here. I'd be up here. If I have to, I don't know, make a drill hole or something with this, I'd probably even choke up. Let me see about, it feels pretty secure choking up with the twisting. Let's go into the main position here, saber grit. Pretty good, but ultimately like a G10, which is a denser material, heavier than this, on this knife would feel more secure, and I would have more confidence if I was going to be twisting with the knife. But in terms of piercing, slicing, chopping, this feels perfectly secure. What else? So yeah, price is 45. I paid 45 Canadian. So after tax, you're paying 50 bucks Canadian, anywhere from 50 to 60, maybe with some shipping. If you got to order it in, 72 bucks maximum. So for me, for 50 bucks, this is a good value for $50 Canadian. For $72 Canadian, it's okay. For that money, if you go into a store, that's close to like a budget Dozier, K-Bar Dozier with like a D2 steel, more of a gentleman's knife. It's going to be less thick than this, but you've got a really nice slicey blade on that. I'd say they're kind of equal for this and other budget knives in terms of quality for what you're getting. So then it comes down to styling. I think this is, your classic Bowie Hunter clip point looking knife. And you can do everything for casual EDC with this. You could use this as a camping knife. For food prep, this is going to be pretty good. You got the first 2/3 of the blade to use for food prep before the table is going to be touching the highest point, the deepest point here of the handle. So you can see you've got all of the belly of the blade for processing food. So you could use this. This is a good backup beater knife is what this is for. Just don't go doing any heavy duty twisting with this. You'll get some flex in the handle for sure. Other than that, it's a solid budget knife. I do recommend this knife for the price that I paid, $45 Canadian before tax. I would give this an 8 out of 10. I think the only things that would compete with this would be your Chinese knives that have really nice materials, D2, G10 for about $80. There's some you can find for like $68, $70, like QSP Swordfish is like $68 before tax. That's going to have nicer quality materials, nicer quality fit and finish for the same price, also made in China. But this has character that I really like. I only have 2 knives that I own right now, folding knives. And we're going to do a size comparison with this and my other knife that I own. So, we've got here, this is going to be my backup beater knife, and this is my main knife, the Cold Steel Swift 3 with G10 M4 coated blade, or coated M4 blade, coated with a DLC coating. And this is in your extra large size of knives. This is closer to closer to 9 inches total length. And you can see the size comparison there. This is going to be a little bit longer than your Cold Steel Recon 1s. And that's a big knife. So you see where this fits in size-wise.